This is Trojan News.
Welcome to this edition of Trojan News. I'm Miranda Widboom.
And I'm Easton Newman. We'll be your host for today. Did you know Worthington has their very own community football club?
Wow, I didn't know that. That is super cool. I need to know more about it.
Well, you are in luck. Trojan News journalist Samai Patel recently caught up with the club at preseason practice.
The Worthington community football team was the idea of Patrick Mahoney. He wanted to create this club so that anyone in the community that enjoys soccer can all come together and be one team.
A couple things. It's always kind of been a dream to kind of do this. I'm a big sports fan, but I also wanted to find a way to kind of give back to the community, and I think that this is a way to highlight one of the positive aspects of Worthington.
2 years ago, WHS history teacher Mr. Mahoney co-founded the Worthington Community Football Club. His co-worker, Mr. Barrero, became the assistant coach. They hold practice at the JVS Fieldhouse.
So I was offered the position to coach the U19 team, and I was working with them for a couple of months until there was an opening to coach the semi-professional team, Los Toros.
Cody Honus, a goaltender on the team, enjoys playing on the team. Although he hasn't played goalie his whole life, he decided to try it out and hasn't looked back since.
Well, when I first started playing soccer, I was a forward, and then we didn't have a goalie my junior year, so they just told me since I was the tallest person to try a goalie. And then I tried it, and I started liking it. Could dive and do a bunch of different stuff, and it's pretty good, and it gives me a lot of responsibility. I like having some responsibility, so then I started playing goalie from there.
Cody Honus believes after last season they will improve due to them playing against other teams and looking at their weaknesses.
As a team, we started out not the greatest, but that was just kind of because none of us really had experience playing at that level. But as the season went on, we were getting better and better, and by the end of the season, we were competing for a playoff spot, and we almost got it, but we didn't. So this year, now that we're more prepared, hopefully it goes a lot better. I think after getting a little more experience, it just helped me and the team overall. So I think this year should be a lot better.
This has been Samai with Trojan News.
Wow, what a lot of great information about this community football club. They are very entertaining the way they can move with the ball.
I am really looking forward to attending my first soccer game. Mr. Mahoney is definitely one of my favorite teachers, and I can't wait to support his team.
Have you met Kayla Hendrickson?
No, who is that?
Well, you really should. She is a great person, so you should go and meet her. She is in her second year as a student counselor. Trojan News journalist Samantha Boltman was recently in her office and has lots to share.
Kayla Hendrickson is in her second year as a student counselor at WHS. She has left quite a mark, with many students holding her in high regards due to her nice, caring, supportive, and optimistic demeanor. Kayla Hendrickson likes helping students out with anything they need. We asked her why she decided to be a counselor.
I decided to be a counselor because I wanted to help students in any way they can, whether it's mental health, academic goals. There is a lot going on in my hometown that kind of played a factor into it, so I wanted to be part of the high school.
As a counselor, Kayla helps students work through hard experiences and tough emotions.
It's hard because some of the things you guys go through, I've been through as well. I have cried with students in my office because it relates to me on certain stuff. So I can feel for you guys.
One of Kayla's closest coworkers is Service Secretary Gayla Algetz. She is able to help students with records and transcripts. Without her, a lot of data requests would go unanswered.
Well, without this position, as well as being the registrar, there would be nobody to keep track of all the records. We have a lot of students from previous years going back, 20, 30 years that still request transcripts. and I'm able to provide those for them and just make sure that we have everything that's needed.
As a student service secretary, Gayla explains how she helps out the counselors at WHS and how she manages a lot of different tasks.
So I'm technically their secretary, so if anybody needs an appointment with them, I schedule the appointments. I help them out with the other things that they have to do. They're in charge of a lot of the testing at the school, credits for high school students, making sure that they're prepared to graduate. So I am the keeper of the records, so I make sure that all the grades are updated and correct.
A student here at WHS, Brooklyn Otson, explains why it is important to have a counselor at WHS.
It's really important because some of the students here need someone to talk to other than family or teachers.
As a student, Brooklyn Otson goes to the counselor, Kayla, for a variety of reasons.
I go to a counselor for a lot of things, family problems, stress, school, work.
Kayla is proud of being a counselor here at WHS as she enjoys the variety it brings to life.
I'm proud when students achieve something that they've been working towards. Like, for example, Betsy got her full ride scholarship to Morris. Or students tell me just the most random things.
Brooklyn Otson's opinion of Kayla is through the roof, and she is very grateful for the time that they have spent together.
Well, Kayla is my own counselor, so nothing really makes her better, but she is probably the best person I know.
School counselor Kayla Hendrickson has an open door policy. Feel free to stop by and meet the nice staff member. This has been Samantha with Trojan News.
Wow, I really want to meet Kayla. She seems like a wonderful person. I wish she was my own counselor. Playing video games is a hobby for many people, but some want to take it more seriously. Trojan News journalist Brian Tapelad reports to us on how the WHS esports team was started.
Esports is a sport which involves playing video games competitively and is becoming an option at WHS for people wanting to play in a competitive setting like any other sport. Multiple people were involved in trying to make this a club, but it really started with Will Diaz. Mr. Morales, a WHS esports coach, explains Will's reasons on why he started the club.
Probably most people know esports was an idea brought in by William Merida. He used to be one of our paraprofessionals here in school, and William is the founding member of esports. And what made me do it is because he was so passionate about it.
The club is active with a lot of students and 3 teachers that are engaged with this club. Mr. Morales shares more about this information.
With them, I also get to work with students that I never see in class, but they also have shared identities with me when it comes to feeling like a nerd or a geek or a gamer. It also allowed me to reach out to the middle school. We have now about 5 to 6 middle schoolers playing in the team. And so it's been great. It's been pretty good for me to get involved more with the community.
Mr. Morales is leaving the district, meaning he will no longer be in esports. Mr. Jacobson is planning on being the next head coach.
Next year, so I'm passing the baton. Next year, I will not continue coaching for esports as I will no longer be in the district, but I'm passing the baton to Mr. Jacobson, and his plans are to continue pretty much the legacy of Mr. Diaz, and he will get the support of Mr. Mahoney.
Mr. Jacobson plans to expand the club into a new games next year as a head coach.
They tried to get like some, maybe incorporate some other categories in there, maybe Street Fighter, maybe Fortnite, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with how those work, so I'd have to do some research, but maybe just including more events, more games, things like that in the future.
Playing video games isn't just for geeks and nerds, but for everyone who picks up a controller or a mouse and a keyboard. Esports isn't just for a competitive gaming either, but a community of people who have interest in gaming and safe space for those who have comfort and enjoyment in doing hobbies that they love. This has been Brian for Trojan News.
Wow, I really hope they add Fortnite next year. It would be awesome to be in a build battle in school.
Yeah, it would also be cool if they added more fighting games like Street Fighter. I'm goated.
Did you know there's a 2-time turkey trot champion in the counselor's office every day?
Whoa, slower horses. I'm not down there that often.
Not you, silly. I'm talking about Jesse Nitschke. In addition to being a runner and a counselor, Jesse also does a lot with the Nobles County Integration Collaborative. Trojan News journalist Friendly Paw has our report on Jesse.
Here at the high school, students tend to have lots of things to say. Jesse is a student counselor at the Worthington High School.
I didn't know I wanted to help people, so I had a little bit of struggles in my senior year with mental health, and I sought help from my counselor there. And just, I don't know, I feel like the gift she gave me, even though I didn't know her very well, was something I wanted to pass on. It's difficult seeing students in a tough place. I think it's one of the big ones. Obviously, it's an emotional heavy thing sometimes. It's also rewarding in the same way, though, because you also have those moments that are really powerful.
Wait, homeschool kids can go to prom, right? Even if they don't do homeschool like through our school? Yeah. What's the age limit?
For Jesse, the highlight of his job is working with his students, but he also has other responsibilities.
I'd love to give all my time to students, but there's a lot of other stuff we have to do. Like we do, of course, our the scheduling and registration, stuff like that, and we also have many other things that y'all don't see on the outside. Typically work mostly with students throughout the day, and some days I have more other stuff going on. We coordinate with local organizations with a private industry council, where we have career counselor come in and meet with students to help them prepare for their careers and options that they could do.
Another big responsibility for Jesse and the counselors in Worthington is being the lead or go-to person for state testing, which can lead to stressors.
We also do state testing, so that's kind of a not so fun part of our job, but we have to coordinate the state testing stuff that we have. Kind of connect with parents a lot for questions they might have and concerns. And we do a lot of stuff teachers do too, with having meetings and coordinating with other colleagues here at work. So yeah, it's quite a bit of things. Scheduling and registration, like I mentioned, it's we kind of are a grab bag of different services.
We actually have a lot of fun together. We do memes in each other's offices, or we move stuff around. If you kind of look around, there's some memes he left in my office from last year still. So
I think he does give good advice. He's given me a lot of good advice throughout my year. He has really pushed me to be a better person. He helped me grow as a person also.
Hey, can you help me with my schedule?
No, but if you ever need fixing on your schedule or someone to talk to, you can always stop by and visit Jesse in the office or another WHS counselor. This has been Friendly for Trojan News.
Oh, I will make sure to go to Jesse and not Friendly for scheduling advice.
Yeah, he is a very personable guy.
Thanks for watching this edition of Trojan News. This has been Miranda
and Easton.
See you next time.